Hey, and welcome back to Real Estate Jumpstart. In this video, we're going to go over how you can get the best results from the BRRRR method. And I'm actually going to go over a real deal that I did with my business partner and how we were able to use the funds from this BRRRR method to make offers on new properties to expand our business. So I want to go over this very briefly. What does BRRRR mean? Okay, I have other videos going more in depth into that, but I'm just going to explain what it is if you're completely new. BRRRR is whenever you buy a house, you rehab it, you rent it out, you refinance it, and then you repeat, okay? So it's a process that you do in real estate to help people scale their business. So let me jump into an exact deal that I did that I was able to refinance, cash out, and then use the money that I'm trying to buy a new property with. So the first thing is I bought a duplex. Now this is what's cool about the BRRRR method. You can do this with multi-units. You don't have to just do it with a single family property, okay? This is whenever it can scale even faster and faster when you do it with more properties. So we bought a duplex, okay? We bought it for roughly $50,000. Now I'm going to use really rough numbers here. These were close. I think we bought it for like $49,000 or something like that, or $48,900. So I'm going to use rough numbers. We bought it for roughly $50,000. Both units here, one was rented for $400 and the other one was vacant, okay? So they were only collecting $400 a month in rent on this property. The property was in rough condition. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it wasn't really nice, okay? So we bought this thing with only collecting $400 a month in rent. What we did was we rehabbed this property for roughly $50,000. I think the actual numbers are like, $47,000, okay? So we rehabbed it for roughly $50,000. So when it was all said and done, okay, we were all in at $100,000. And the beauty of this is we used a hard money loan for the rehab and the purchase of this property. So we got somebody who gave us $100,000 to buy the property and then to rehab the property. So we have a nice property by the end of it. With $50,000, we were able to make this property very nice. And I'll prove it to you here because we were able to rent this property out, okay? We went from $400 and zero, okay, to $900 and $850 a month, okay? So we were able to collect rent on both sides. Great catch by me there. Now, here's what we were able to do. We were able to collect $1,750 total a month on this property, okay? So we're now collecting $1,750 a month. When we went to the bank, okay, because we have a hard money loan on $100,000 here. We went to the bank and said, hey, we want to get an appraisal on this property because we think it's worth a lot more money than what it was originally worth, right? So we went to the bank and we were able to refinance this property for $145,000, okay? Now I have other videos about how cap rates work based off of the rent in the areas, so go ahead and check those out. But we were able to show that we had $1,750 a month in total rent, and we were able to refinance this property for $145,000, okay? Which is still a great number because it hits over the 1% margin, which we actually have other videos on. So it hits over the 1% margin that we were able to refinance on. Here is what is cool about this and why people are able to scale, and even it gets a little confusing. I was confused about this at first too. But when you refinance a house, okay, and the total value is $145,000, the bank gives us 80% loan to value, okay? So the bank sees that this house is worth $145,000 now, and they are going to give us 80%, okay, of this because we're putting 20% down. So the bank keeps 20% in the deal. So we actually were able to get $116,000 from this property, okay? Because we got 80% of it. Now this $116,000, we were able to pay off our $100,000, okay? So we took $116,000 because we increased the value, increased the rents, okay? We were able to take $100,000 of the $116,000 and pay off our $50,000 and $50,000, and we had $16,000 left over, okay? So here's what the beauty of the fact that we bought this, we rehabbed it, we increased the rent, and we refinanced it, okay? Now we want to repeat this method. we have $16,000 left over to repeat the whole process and buy a new property. And we're trying to buy a commercial property now with this money left over, the $16,000 left over. So here's what we were able to get at the end of it, okay? At the end of this, we now have an appreciating asset. We now own a duplex that makes $800 a month cash flow on the property. We make $800 profit. So we get $1,750 after all of our expenses. We make $800 profit every single month. And we have $16,000 left over that we can use to continue doing this method, okay? So this is how you can get some of the best returns using the BRRRR method. You can do that by using a multi-unit, okay? So let me know if you have any questions, okay? Go in the comments. I love responding to them. Hit like, subscribe, because we're posting stuff all the time. I have a bunch of videos on TikTok. I would love to just get to know you better, help you guys out. Check out our realestatejumpstart.com. I have so many resources there. I just get really excited because we have so much stuff. So thanks, guys, and we'll check you later.